10:08.
Nope, it's 10:09.
David, shut up.
It's true. It's 10:09.
Anyways, now 10:09. It says 10:42. On Sunday, September 11th. And because of the date, I wanted to do a video basically talking about what happened this day. What is it, 16 years now?
Yep. Nope. 15.
15 years. Yeah, so on this date 15 years ago, and kind of tell you guys like where we were and what was going through our mind and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go first, and then while David talks, I'm gonna cut his hair. So I was in middle school. I had failed the 8th grade the year prior, and because I had my tonsils out and I missed too much school, so I automatically failed. So I was in my second year of 8th grade, and I was in class, and I was in homeroom. I'm pretty sure I was in homeroom. And I remember somebody coming to the door, and my teacher going to the door, and then my teacher turned the TV on. Didn't say anything to us about it, she just turned it on. And I remember seeing the news, and I remember seeing the Twin Towers, and I remember seeing one on fire at that point. And then not long later, I remember seeing the second one getting hit. And I was in complete shock. Like, I don't even remember what was going through my head. I just know I was in shock. And we watched it for like a good hour and a half maybe, and then they sent us home. And I was in South Carolina. I wasn't anywhere, like a state anywhere near New York. But they sent us all home, and I remember being on the bus, and I remember praying, just praying to God, just for everybody. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. Nobody really knew whether they were going to attack again or what was going to happen, so I was just praying. And I remember I was sitting towards the front of the bus.
Hello?
Sorry, I had a phone call. Anyways, I remember sitting towards the front of the bus, and I remember there was a group of black girls jumping up and down, acting completely nutball crazy, yelling out the window, and just acting like little children. And right after that, they started saying, "It's the end of the world as we know it." And I snapped. I literally told them to shut the fuck up, sit their asses down, and have some damn respect. And I told them that if they didn't, I was going to kick every single one of their asses. And I was like, how would you feel if that was your family? You didn't know whether they were alive or dead. You didn't know if you were going to see them ever again. You didn't know. I said, you need to have some respect. There are people that are dying. And you're sitting here thinking it's a joke, that it's fun, that it's an early dismissal day, that you just get to go home and play video games. You know, or go play outside, or whatever you want to do. Like, I was so pissed off. And they sat down and they shut up. The rest of the bus ride was quiet. And I got off at my bus stop, walked to my house, went inside, went straight to my room, and cried. All I wanted was my family. I just wanted my mom to come home, my brother, my niece. I just wanted to be with my family. And I went back every year, and I've watched videos of what happened. And two strong emotions always come over me: heartbreak and anger. Anger because of what they did. That they killed thousands of innocent people for no reason. None. They had no reason for what they did. And it makes me so mad. And of course, heartbreak for those who lost somebody, and those who lost their lives. And for our country. We did band together after that, and everybody on this date says, never forget, united we stand, whatever the situation. But at the same time, people are letting these race wars and stuff get in the middle of being united and standing together and doing what we need to do. The only thing we need to do right now is get a president who's not going to tear down our country. We need to stand together and protect each other and protect our country. That's what we need to do as Americans. And, you know, I wish people would really think about what that means to be an American. Our government is so, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? They're crooked. They are crooked as hell.
Corrupt?
Yep, that's the word. Our government is corrupt. It is completely corrupt. And we just need to get a president in there that loves our country and wants to do the best he can do for our country. And that's what I think about every time 9/11 happens, is I think about what kind of president we need. Because I can tell you, all these presidents that we've had, they aren't doing anything for us. They're putting us more in debt, making our country even worse, hiding things from us, and they're trying to start stuff like race wars and stuff that won't even, like, it shouldn't even be an issue. Like,
no, it's not just the government, it's also...
I'm not saying it's just the government, but it's corporations and news and everything.
It's
pretty
more
much.
like political leaders and activists, and because one group has has power over another one, they think it's it's stupid. But as of right now,
I don't know.
I think people just need to get with the game and accept the fact that what happened in the past happened. Let it go. Go, and make the best for the future, because...
And if you don't like our country, then feel free to leave.
No, it's not just that. If you sit there and you want to change the future, and you want to show your kids that there's something better than what is present now, then sit there and show them. Don't sit there and try to bring up the past. Don't sit there and try to tell them that, oh, well, because this doesn't happen, we need to fight to make it, to make it a better world. Show them that there could be a better world. Sit there and show them that.
And fighting is not always the answer.
I mean, make love, not war. I mean, that's a saying that they
Seriously.
had back in the 60s.
Yeah, people need to get back to the mindset of the 60s and being equal and not wanting to...
I'm not saying to sit there and be all, potheads and all that stuff. I mean,
but
look at the political view of the 60s.
Well, and go back to the... I mean, yeah, there was what is it, segregation?
I mean, the political mindset of the 60s is what we have, what the government wants. But they're sitting there and trying to put their foot into places that they're not supposed to be. For example, parenting.
Okay, babe. Let's not get into politics. I'm just saying, go back to the way things were in the 60s. Make love, not war. Love your brothers and sisters. Love your neighbors. Love each other and protect each other. And stand up for what's right. And teach your kids better. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Parents have become so lax in the way they've raised their children to not have respect for authority, and then they complain when their kid gets shot. If your kid wasn't running, or your kid didn't try to steal this, or your kid didn't do this, then they wouldn't have been shot. Granted, I'm not saying that there aren't crooked cops, because we all know there are. Because there's some politicians that are out there that really want to make a difference in America, and they do want to see us be back to our glory days.
No, I mean, you can't really say that either. There's some parents out there that discipline their kids.
Yeah, there are some parents, and I think that the government should not intervene.
No, and it's not just that, but some of the parents do discipline
I feel like
their
kids need to have an ass whooping every now and then.
And sometimes that just doesn't work. But because of the way things are, I mean, they're afraid to take disciplinary actions against
the government's trying to be so politically correct now that it's ridiculous. Like, your kids can opt out of saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
And I think that's ridiculous. You live in this country, then you live in this country.
But see, that's the beauty of the freedom. I mean, you don't have to do it, but at the same time, it's not, you know, it's patriotic for somebody to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
There's somebody, I'm not going to say any names, but there is somebody on YouTube who literally did not know the Pledge of Allegiance. And she made a video on it. There's a hint, it's a girl. She made a video, and she put up a blooper video of her messing up the Pledge of Allegiance every freaking time. And that is stuff that I do not think is okay. I do not think it's okay for your child not to know the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, you can take church out of schools, but I kind of feel like once you take God out of our country, that's pretty much where we are now. Everything's going to hell.
And it's like what you said. People are trying to be politically correct, and it's stupid.
This country was founded on God. Like, that's just how it is. If you don't like it, then please leave.
And no offense to any Islamic people watching the video, but to be honest with you, we helped you guys out just like you guys helped us out. So we've been even since the get-go. Don't sit there and say that we owe you anything.
Alright, babe, scoot up so I can cut your hair. And you can tell everybody where you were on 9/11.
Well, 9/11, I was actually homeschooled in New York.
Here, you might have to hold the camera because this is going to be loud. So they're going to want to hear you closer.
Yeah, so in September 11th of 2001, I was in New York, and I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was actually homeschooled that year, and that's because of my dyslexia. I wasn't doing too good in school. I mean, I was passing, but because of the fact that I had difficulties pronouncing words, reading, and all that stuff, it kind of put me at a disadvantage. Luckily enough, President Bush, I can't remember if it was during that time that he put the No Child Left Behind program into effect, but I know for a fact that that year, I mean, it was, I don't know, it was an odd year for me for education. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I was homeschooled. My mom needed to go to the bank, so at that time, my little brother at that year just turned 1. I was 11 years old. I was about to turn 12. We were getting into the bank. We got out, and we were about to go home. Well, before my mom turned on the car, we heard a loud scream. Now, the town I was in was nowhere near New York City. You're talking about an 8-hour trip from Elmira, New York to New York City. So therefore, it's a pretty decent drive. 8 hours. But my mom turned on the radio and she heard the host of the radio station, 98 Point Rock, saying that, look, this is what happened, this is, what's going down, we just got attacked. My mom freaked out. She pretty much ran home, and because the bank we were in was about 5 minutes away from the house, and once we got home, she put it onto the news station, and it showed the Twin Towers got hit. And my mom called my stepdad, and she called him to let them, to tell him to go pick up my sisters because they were both in elementary school at that time, and to go pick them up and come home. And he was like, why, what happened? Because apparently he didn't hear that either. And when she told him, yeah, he was like, alright, he got my sisters out of school, and he brought them home. And when that happened, that's when the second tower got hit. So my mom freaked out even more, and she was crying. And so she tried to call my grandparents who lived in Long Island, New York, which is if anybody ever traveled to Long Island and ever been into the LIE, you guys know that getting into the city was just a pain. So anyways, at that time all lines of communications were down, so we couldn't get any we couldn't call anybody, we couldn't do anything of that nature. My mom was freaking out even more. It got to the point where...
Who was on Long Island?
Huh?
Who was on Long Island?
My grandparents, pretty much my mom's side of the family. All her brothers, their wives, their kids. Yeah, everybody in Long Island. The lines of communication, like I said, were down. But it was interesting, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not saying it's interesting as in the way that, how it happened, but it was interesting because of the fact that it was, yeah, it was planned out, and we had security on the planes, and so, I mean, that caused, for me, that caused a lot of suspicions, but at that time, I was only 11 years old. I didn't know what was going on. My suspicions grew after I understood, the architect of the building. But, yeah, I mean, we were watching the news nonstop.
I'm telling you, I hated it. It's still there, it's just not as long, so you can't put it in your mouth.
But yeah, I mean, it was interesting on how choreographed that all was.
In there now.
That day, it was, for me, it wasn't bad.
Put it up here.
Because I mean,
Oh Jesus!
way to go.
You guys fell. Hold on. No way to go, baby. Nothing. I didn't do it. I didn't do it on purpose, anyways.
I'm not saying that just be a complete another butthole, but I mean, I understand a lot of people, and I mean, lots of people lost families that day. And
once you figured out what happened, how did you feel though? Like, what were your top emotions? Mine was sadness and anger. I was pissed.
I mean, it wasn't. I didn't really feel nothing. I mean, at that time, I wanted to. I wonder why the government hesitated at first to do anything. I mean,
we're not talking about the aftermath, babe. We're talking about what happened that specific day.
No, but what I'm saying though is that we had security, because before September 11th, I've actually flown into planes.
Well, they didn't think anything of it though.
That's the problem though. As security, you're supposed to be able to sit there and.
We actually had the tightest security in the world as far as our country went.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, again, is
but we also weren't thinking that they were gonna have balls enough to do what they did.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. You and I know, because we worked in security, anything that looks like a weapon should be considered, you gotta keep an eye out. And they had box cutters. Now, come on now, that's still a form of knife. If you're in a plane full of people and you're up 35,000 feet, I mean, granted, yeah, they could have had a U.S. Marshal in there, but they could have just easily start attacking people. I mean, and I understand that it was 2 against 100 people, but they could have done it stealthy. The whole bombs in the plane. I mean, again, they could have had people sitting there making sure that they. I
don't think there were bombs in the plane.
No, they said the guys that hijacked it. Because if you watch some of the videos, they say that if the people there didn't cooperate, they were going to blow up the plane.
Well, they were going to blow up the plane regardless, but it's not by a bomb. It was by running it into something.
Yeah, but for them to actually hijack, you saw some of them actually had something that looked like a bomb.
They faked it because there would have been no way they would have got their security.
So, I mean, it's... Well, I mean, they even said that the security there back then was lacking. I mean, some of these...
I mean, now that you think about it now, like, what are your feelings towards the whole situation?
I'm irritated because it's like you said, they had the balls to do it. I mean, I have to give respect to all the men and women that did that dug all those people out of the rubble, and I respect to the plane that went down on Pennsylvania.
Yeah, all those people that stopped it from going where it was destined to go. They overpowered them. They were like, you wanna? If we're gonna die, we're not gonna let you take other people with you.
Yeah, they were all scared, and then they all crashed in a remote area in Pennsylvania, and yeah.
No, not that plane. There was another one. That one I don't think that they took down. I think that one something happened.
No, that was one of the ones that went down, because there was one that went down in Pennsylvania, there was one that hit the Pentagon, and then the two that hit. I
thought that there was another one too. I don't remember. Anyway,
the one that hit Pennsylvania was supposed to hit the White House.
Okay, yeah, that's the one where they stopped it, all the passengers.
Yeah.
Because they were calling and they were saying, look, you know, these people are hijacking the plane, and they took it back.
And I mean, at that time, I mean, I made a decision that I wanted to get into the military. But when I found out that I couldn't get, and there's a high possibility of me not being able to go into the Army or to the Marines because of my medical history, I was kind of disappointed of it. Just a simple fact that, I mean, I couldn't really avenge on what those people.
Yeah, but now that you're married, you wouldn't go into them now.
Oh, I was still planning to, but I mean,
I refuse to let him.
It was you know, I wanted to do payback for what they did.
Yeah. I don't know. It just.
That was one of the things, one of the many reasons.
It really pisses me off. Every time I see the videos of the Twin Towers, I get mad. I get so mad, and I'm one of those people. If I get mad enough, I cry, and I get so mad that I actually want to cry, because it pisses me off that they did that. I mean, people were jumping from the buildings.
And you could hear some of the videos of the reporters, and you hear like these little banging sounds.
That's those bodies hitting cars.
Those are people falling from the sky, and they said that before they hit the ground, they already died because of the fact that they died from suffocation.
Yeah, because they were going so fast. But it was like you had no choice. It was either you jump, you burn to death, or you get completely squished.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, there are a lot of people that still stayed in the buildings that survived. Yeah. But I mean.
But these were people that were up above the breaking point. There was no way they were going to survive.
I mean, they were above. Yeah, they were above the Well, see, there's
like
people,
where the plane hit. They were up in the upper part.
Yeah, and they would have still survived because of the way it fell. I mean, they fell downwards, and even the video shows that it went down. It didn't tip. It didn't do anything.
No. The top pieces ended up. Parts of it would fall sideways and went in between the towers.
Either way, I mean, it's the way it fell. It just.
Am I wrong? But I heard that there was like a daycare in there.
They were. There was daycare around like maybe a block away from it.
No, I heard there was one in the building.
Oh, that I don't know. I just know for a fact that they evacuated all the the daycare and all that stuff around there. They pretty much evacuated all the buildings around the towers and all that stuff. And so it's like I said, it irritated me to the point where, I mean, after I knew who did it, who was responsible for it, I personally wanted to go over there and excuse the language, whip some ass. But
I wanted to stab him in the neck, and I'm not a violent person.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is a redhead, so.
But I'm I'm not just a random, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like, I'm not a very physical, like, if I have to, I'll fight, but I don't like confrontation. That's just not me. But that day, I wanted to find them SOBs and stab them right in the neck. And watch them die slowly. You remember this photo? I'm going to show it to them, but that's all the people that died. Mm-hmm. So, if you guys have never seen this photo, it's on Facebook. It's actually a picture of the Twin Towers made out of everybody who passed away's picture. Like, I have a pretty good camera so you can see it. But, it's hard to zoom in, but yeah, it's got like a whole bunch of people who passed away. Yeah, the Faces of the Fallen from September 11th. And that is so sad. You can go to www.september11victims.com is where that photo came from what I saw on there. But anyways, let us know where you guys were and what your feelings were when it happened and how they've changed or how they've maybe gotten stronger. Mine definitely have gotten stronger, especially when I see the video. I still have not seen any of the movies that were made after 9/11, that were made, to tell the story from 9/11. Because isn't there one called something 49 Ladders or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah, I think there's like a few movies that were made.
I know there's one with Nicolas Cage in it, and that
I think it was 49 Ladders.
I watched it about a few weeks ago. It was a good movie.
Let's see. I'm looking up a list. So, World Trade Center, September 11, Remember Me, Twin Towers, United 93, Fahrenheit 9/11, Cloverfield, Into the Fire,
World Trade Center, that's
Tiger
what it's called.
Cruise.
The one with Nicolas Cage in it? Yeah.
DC 9/11, Time of Crisis, The Love We Make, New York, Flight 93, Reign Over Me, Zero Dark 30. I did watch that one. But that wasn't, I don't feel like that was really about 9/11. That was about what we did after that. The Hamburg Cell, Sorry Haters, The Path to 9/11. I swore there was one called like Ladder 49.
No, Ladder 49 was
Wasn't that about 9/11?
Mm-hmm.
I swore it was. Anyways. But, I think I'm going to go ahead and spend today with, the hubby when he's not going and picking people out of, picking them back into their houses or their cars. But, and maybe watch, I kind of want to watch the World Trade Center movie. I swore Ladder 49 was about that movie.
Yeah, see.
What was it about?
Baltimore firefighter Jack Morris making the transition from inexperienced rookie to seasoned veteran.
Okay, maybe it wasn't that one. I don't remember what it was. Anyways, so you guys definitely take the time to remember what happened, and I still pray for their families, and I still pray for those who lost their lives, because it was something sensible that didn't need to happen. But anyways, we love you guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Go ahead and leave us some comments. Remember, if you can't be nice, don't say anything at all. And go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of our other vlogs. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Besos. Mwah.